If you want to learn how to turn this dresser into this in under 3 hours and make a profit doing it, stick around. Hey everybody, my name's Steve, and last year I paid off $42,000 worth of debt with the help of a few side hustles. This year, I'm turning my $600 stimulus check into $20,000 by the end of the year, doing side hustles you can do at home. After the last video, I was at $4,806. Stick around to the end of the video to see where I'm at now. Like always, before I get into the furniture flip side of the video, I need to announce last week's $50 giveaway winner. After randomly generating a number and sifting through the comments, congratulations to Sitlali Zamaripa. Sorry for butchering your name, but you're the winner. I'll be sending a message to your YouTube page. I hope the $50 helps you on your side hustle journey. For this week's $50 giveaway, subscribe to the show, timestamp the slot, and tell me about your biggest furniture flip profit. We all have that one home run that keeps us going during the tough times. A couple of you have already shared in previous posts, which I think is awesome. It only takes one person to see that and think, oh, maybe I should do this. So keep it coming. Okay, back to the flip. Today, I'll be painting this dresser with an aged gray chalk paint. I'll be breaking down each step of the process, and at the end of the video, I'll go over lessons that I learned as well as how much money I made from the flip. If you want to follow along at home, everything that I'm using in today's video is linked down in the description box below. Okay, let's get it. Those are the two guys that I got from the thrift store today. Couch is in perfect condition, and the dresser, paid a little much for it. It was on sale at the thrift store for $125. Here's my thought process with that one. I was looking up what it actually costs. It has a manufacturer name, and when I looked up that brand, a bunch of different furniture pieces popped up that were in the $1,000, $1,500 range. So it's definitely a solid manufacturer. The piece is very sturdy, so I like that. And I do think it's going to be a fun little project piece. It's very flat on most of it, so I think I can sand it down, paint it. Just got back from Home Depot, and I am ready to start on this furniture flip. First on the list is TSP. You can use so many different things, but this is just a general degreaser that's good for removing all the grime and junk that's built up on this thing. There is wood filler, because over here I have a little bit of a hole. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just gonna fill that in and then sand over that. To do these guys, I'm gonna take them off, and then I'm gonna do a black finish to them, just a spray paint over the handles. And then I'm using a aged gray chalk paint, and that's what I'm gonna do for the entire piece. I was gonna do this a different color and stain it, but I'm still not there yet experience wise, so I'm gonna hold off on that and just do the whole thing in an aged gray. In between each coat, I'm going to sand it with 220 grit sandpaper, and then at the end I'm gonna do a polyurethane coat over the top to seal it. And then lastly, I'm going to use a mini roller. I was told that that's probably a better option. And also it's probably helpful to know that at least the guy in Home Depot told me that the polyurethane, if it's water-based, it won't leave a particular finish. It'll just look like the chalk paint at the end, and it's not gonna look like a gloss or anything. So I'm gonna try that out. It's a spray, probably way easier than the wax. So I'll try that out this time and see how it goes. All right, let's do it. So now that we know what we're using, the first step is to remove all the hardware. So I'm gonna do that right now, and I have my dog helping. So that's great, because he's super useful down there. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove all the hardware right now. All right, so the hardware is off and put into a little bucket to use later so I don't lose those. Put those off to the side. Now I'm going to use some TSP and put it into this container. It's about 8 ounces for a gallon. I have half a gallon here. Gonna put 4 ounces in it. Hashtag math. But yeah, I'm gonna do that and then get all of this grime off. Yeah, and then we'll be rocking with some paint. I'm gonna remove all the drawers now, but pro tip, in the future, remove the drawers before you remove the handles, because this makes it pretty difficult to get those. So that's fun. But I found a little Allen wrench, so I just poke it through the hole here and remove that way. Remember to remove it while the hardware is still on next time. All right, so I'm gonna do that now. The drawers are removed. I'm just gonna go one time through with TSP and get that stuff right in there. Maybe do one more little once over just to make sure I have everything. And then I will be ready to paint. All right, so I am done with the TSP on everything. She looks good. And now I'm just gonna let it dry for a little bit. I'm gonna go over it with a microfiber towel just to make sure that I get everything off before I start actually painting. And then, yeah, and then the fun begins. All right, I'm going to really quick put some wood filler on right here. There's just a small divot that I would like to make sure doesn't show up. So I'm going to put that on there, let it dry. As it dries, I'm probably gonna get started on the other drawers and at least get going on those guys. But yeah, and then once that dries, I'll sand it down and then I can start on the main piece. Okay, so I just did the drawers and I can already tell this is going to be so much faster than my other flip. Oh my God, just having a larger surface area to work with is huge. I'm gonna start on this. I thought I was gonna take way more time. So I still need to give this spot time to dry up. So I'm gonna focus on the rest of the piece and maybe just work over there, work across it. But yeah, this is already so much easier. The little paintbrush or the little roller makes such a huge difference. Yeah, just having a bigger surface area to work with. I'm gonna move these things around and start on this. Now I'm gonna sand out the spot that I put wood filler on, which is right there. I have two 20 grit sandpaper, so I'm just gonna sandpaper that out, then paint over it. I'm gonna do a quick once over with a microfiber cloth just to make sure that I get all the debris that's settling on there now, and then I can give it a quick paint. All right, so I'm all done with coat number 1. Looks good. Obviously there's some blotchy spots, but that's just the first coat. And it looks like it'll actually be finished by the second coat, which is pretty sweet. That only took about 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So I'll be able to put on the second coat in about 2 hours and call it a day. Maybe put the stain on before I go to sleep. I'll definitely make sure that I spray paint the hardware before I go to bed, because those should take a couple hours to fully settle in. But yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. Okay, so I just came back outside. It looks good. Look at this. There's definitely a texture to it, so it's not as smooth of a finish as some of the other paints. I think it looks really good so far. Going with that darker color is much easier. I'm definitely not gonna have to put as many coats on here. Probably be done with this next coat, but yeah, it looks really good. After I put this on, I'm going to spray paint just black satin finish and leave those drying overnight. All right, so came out this morning to check how everything looks, and I think it looks pretty awesome. So this is the second coat of paint. It has a lot of texture in the paint, but it's very smooth. And the drawers are all done. They look good. That looks good. I'm going to put another coat on the handles just to make sure that they're all completely covered before I leave for work. And then I'll probably, judging on how they look, I might put another coat on there. I just don't want any of the previous color to come through. But I think I'm actually done with the dresser. It looks great. There's no color, no bleed, no anything coming through. So I'm gonna just put another quick coat on the hardware. When I get home from work, I will put it all back together.
One shift later.
I am back home. I have everything done. Drawers done. Top is done. I just need to put it all back together. So I'm gonna go and do that right now. All right, so I just finished. It looks beautiful. Look at that. It's all put together now. Rookie mistake, however. So as I get closer, I did not do the tops over here. And when I put it against the dresser like that, I can see a lot of these pieces coming through here. So I'm just gonna really quick pull these out a little bit, just do painting over the top. So I'm gonna paint those drawers right now. All right, so that made an absolutely huge difference. So just that one little detail of making sure that all of this is covered. I'm gonna let it dry for a little bit, obviously, but when I push that back and it's flush, there's no of the darker wood coming through on that dresser anymore. So it's gonna have a much better finish there. I'll let it dry and then we'll come check out the final form here. Okay, a little tip here. When you're done with your paintbrushes for a little bit, and you have to give them a couple hours to let the paint dry, put them in these plastic bags and then just seal them up. If you do that, then they will not dry out and you don't have to like rewash them each and every time that you have to let the paint dry. So every time that you're done, just put them in these Ziploc bags and then you can come back in an hour or 2 hours and they should be fine and ready to use. All right, so I'm gonna spray on the polyurethane. The dresser looks fantastic. This is gonna put a protective coat on so that we can eventually wash it down in the future. It's gonna prevent a lot of the scratches and stains from happening in the future. Lightly sand to find the desired texture and wipe it off with a microfiber towel, and then apply 2 to 3 coats, spreading them out 1 hour each. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so that was my first successful furniture flip. Really, this was my first successful furniture painted item, period. The last one was very blotchy and had a lot of paint runoff, which doesn't look very good. First, thank you to everyone who commented on the last furniture flip video and let me know what I could improve on. Your suggestions were super helpful and I found myself going back to the comment section multiple times to get insight. I'm still new at this and know that I didn't get everything 100% correct. So if you see anything that you would change, let me know in the comment section below. Before I get into what I sold it for, here are a few lessons that I learned during this week's flip. Tip number 1, if you're new, stick to big, flat furniture pieces. This dresser was 2 to 3 times larger than the wine rack that I fixed up in the last furniture flip video, but because it was mostly flat, I ended up finishing it in half the time. Trying to paint around posts and edges by hand takes forever. Tip number 2, chalk paint is great for quick flips and beginners. With chalk paint, you don't need to sand or prime. The paint pretty much does everything for you. If you're new to furniture flipping and you want a quick win, stick to chalk paint. It looks great and will take way less time. Tip number 3, to seal, try spray on polyurethane. I put on a wax sealer on my last furniture flip and it took forever. It was basically like applying a full another coat of paint. Try a water-based polyurethane spray on your next chalk paint furniture flip. It was much quicker than applying wax and it works great. Tip number 4, sand in between each coat when applying chalk paint. To cut down on the texture of chalk paint and to get a nice smooth finish, sand in between each coat. A number of you suggested that in the last furniture flip video and it made a huge difference. Bonus tip, ditch the brush for a mini roller. Someone gave me this tip in the comment section and it was a huge time saver. With the flat surface on the dresser, it was super easy to apply and cut down a lot of time. Okay, so let's talk money. I purchased the dresser on sale for $125. I spent another $25 on paint and supplies. I ended up selling the dresser for $275, which gives me a total profit of $125. I spent roughly 4 hours cleaning, painting, and listing the item, which gives me a profit per hour of $31.25. This flip, combined with revenue generated from wholesaling and couches, gives me a total weekly profit of $1,482 and a total channel profit of $6,286. I have a lot of lines in the water with wholesaling, Facebook dropshipping, couch flipping, and furniture flipping. A majority of my sales this week actually came from wholesaling. I found a distributor for paddle boards last year and combined that with the great weather that we've been having in Central Oregon lately. I was able to sell out of all my paddle boards this week. I'm going to talk about that and other flips in future videos. There's so much to talk about in every video. If I tried to mention everything, I wouldn't do a very good job of explaining anything. When I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can start doing YouTube lives, which will allow me to go over everything in greater detail. Until then, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.